You should not be making decisions based on whether you have peace about it or not. Let me explain. And why do I say that? It's because God's will should come before peace. And let me tell you, it does. Oftentimes when God tells us to do something, often we don't have peace about it, and that's because our flesh is fighting against us and it doesn't want us to do God's will. So therefore we are anxious about doing God's will. And just because we don't have peace about it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it, because if God has told us clearly to do it, that is what we must do. And this is why you cannot make decisions based on whether you have peace or not. You see, Jesus on the cross, I doubt he was in peace on that cross. He was probably in complete agony. He had nails through his wrists, nails through his feet or ankles. He did not have peace, but he knew it was God's will. And if you want scriptural proof for this, I've got it. Mark 14:34-36. This passage is about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. In verse 44, Jesus says to some of his disciples, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch." That does not sound like peace to me. Verse 35 says, "He went a little farther and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him." Verse 36, "And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what you will." Jesus prayed to God that the hour might be passed from him. He was not at peace going towards the cross, but he knew it was God's will. He said, "Not my will, but yours be done." It doesn't talk about Jesus' emotions after he died, but to me, he would have been completely at peace in heaven. Whether you become a martyr for Christ, or you're just praying for someone, or God has given you a word to tell someone, you may not have peace leading up to it, but you will certainly have peace after it. Let God's will be done, not yours.